Look, Bumble knows you're exhausted by dating. All the must not take yourself too seriously and 6'1" since that matters. And what do I even say other than hey? Well, that's why they're introducing an all-new Bumble with exciting features to make compatibility easier, starting the chat better, and dating safer. They've changed, so you don't have to. Download the new Bumble now.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. From the launch your online shop stage, all the way to the we just hit 1 million orders stage. No matter what stage you're in, Shopify's there to help you grow. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/special offer, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/special offer.
If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
In Dallas, Texas, 3 shots were fired at President Kennedy's motorcade in downtown Dallas.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
You don't know what you're talking about, do you?
Because people have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got.
If you don't like what we tell you to believe in, we'll kill you.
All right, kids. Listen. Don't listen to this podcast.
Don't listen to this.
If you're not of age.
What's of age?
18.
So 16?
18. We're a bunch of dudes, and we're going to say some really bad words.
Okay, guys, welcome back to the Conspiracy Podcast.
What's poppin', y'all?
Yo, what's up, man?
How's everybody doing today?
Hot.
Yes.
It is toasty.
Man. Yeah, it is real crisp in here right now.
The United States is getting a heat wave.
They are?
100 degrees everywhere, basically.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Great.
It's 170 here.
Yeah.
Fucking 100 degrees in the studio right now.
It's gnarly. Hope everybody's doing good. We got a cool episode today.
What we got, Tell us what's on the docket.
This is another Patreon VIP rich person status request.
They're just like, pop, 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 pop.
Now, this P wants to remain anonymous. So, shout out to you, bud.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, girl.
Person.
Girl or bud.
Yeah, girl or bud could be.
But, yeah.
Bud is universal.
Yeah.
Hey,
but
bud.
he's been a long. He's been a long time supporter,
Yes.
and he requested this specifically, and so we've been doing some research together for quite a while.
He's a solid guy.
Yeah,
I know who it is.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Oh, wait, real quick before, just because I said I would.
Yeah.
If you guys are interested, if you guys watch Twitch, and you're like into that kind of thing, Wiz Khalifa. I think it's Wiz Khalifa Gaming. You should check her out. She's awesome. She plays a bunch of different games. She also plays with the OG, Triple OG, Gamer Dave.
Yeah, that's right.
Who's the legend incarnate. So go check her out.
Check out both of the channels.
Yeah,
right?
check out both. Check out both. Check out both the
gamers.
channels.
Yeah.
Like if you're into gaming, I watch gamers.
Are they good?
Are they good streamers?
No, like at the game.
I don't know. I've only I
watch
tune in when I can, and I'm like in bed, my kids asleep. I'm like, hey, I love you guys, and then I'm like out. So I don't fully know, but I think so.
Yeah,
of course they're good.
Must be good.
They like us.
You show up because it's funny, it's entertaining more than anything.
Yeah. Okay.
So anyways, back to the show.
Yeah. All right. So this episode is about Dorothy Kilgallen and the Kennedys.
Another Kennedy.
Yeah.
God,
So
one of the many conspiracies.
So what's cool about this episode is that it ties in about 4 or 5 episodes we've done already.
Right.
Oh, lovely.
So it ties in the assassination of JFK, which we did 5 episodes on that. It ties in Marilyn Monroe, the death of Marilyn Monroe.
That was 2 episodes.
That was a couple episodes there. So definitely check those out because we're going to talk about some things in those cases that she brought up. And it would benefit you if you watch those or if you listen to those episodes. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because we'll go over like the death of Marilyn, but if you don't know the 2 hours that we did on Marilyn, you know what I mean?
What?
Yeah.
So check those out. They're in our catalog, and here we go.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
So Dorothy Kilgallen was an influential American journalist. She was also a television personality, an author whose investigative prowess and charismatic presence left a mark on media and public perception. She was like one of the first female, like, go get 'em news reporters.
Oh yeah, like hard hitting.
Yeah,
ball buster.
Yes, exactly.
Like, you know, they're like at the hard question, she's like, "What? You're on the spot." And they're like, "Shit,
exactly.
We're live. You can't you can't skate it."
100%. So she was born on July 3rd, 1913, in Chicago, Illinois.
Damn, 1913. Holy shit.
She died in.
It's like
she
World
died,
War One. Like, fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Like,
she died in 1965. Okay.
Wow. So she was only 52.
Yeah,
wow.
That's right. So she was a television personality. She was on this show, and we'll go over it in a second. But basically, she was investigating the JFK, because this was all when JFK was murdered, and then she was investigating this and the Jack Ruby trial.
Oh yeah.
And then all of a sudden she died.
Oh wow.
All of a sudden.
It got literally just like you think about the Kennedys and you're getting killed, like offed.
Yeah. So this is almost like another Kennedy episode.
Yeah, it's like
almost
like
another
a Kennedy subcategory, like people who knew the Kennedys.
Yep. So Dorothy May Kilgallen was born into a family that was steeped in journalism. Her father, James, was a well-known newspaperman, which undoubtedly influenced her career path. Her early exposure to journalism in her father's professional environment laid the foundation for her, following the footsteps.
Oh, I mean, that's dope.
Yeah, exactly. She went to the College of New Rochelle. Is that how you say that? New Rochelle? New Rochelle. She left before graduating because she just decided to go journalism full-time.
Yeah, it's like overrated. It's like, why am I going to keep paying for
She
this?
quickly made a name for herself with her sharp wit and writing and keen observation skills. By her early 20s, she had joined the New York Evening Journal, where she would write a column, and the column was The Voice of Broadway. And this was obviously about Broadway, but then she would mix in celebrity gossip, news, and then she started to branch into politics.
I think it's good. Okay. At least she obviously started on like a fluff thing, like Broadway, but at least it wasn't like best recipes. You know, like that writing that column. Best way to clean the house.
Into early stages of like TMZ style or something.
Guess what you might have heard this weekend.
But you see that a lot nowadays, where they started in something like, I don't know if you've looked into, like Rogan did. What was that TV show he did?
Oh my God, Fear Factor?
Fear Factor, where like hands are putting in like snakes and shit. Like, are you ready to do it?
Do you remember the Dave Chappelle? I'm Joe Rogan from MSC's Fear Factor.
So he went from that to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, to now,
also Anthony Bourdain, like he was just a cook in New York, and then he wrote a book about like the atrocities of behind the scenes cooking. You know, and that's launched his career. Yeah. So there's all sorts of stories about people who would maybe not find their way, and then
they finally find their niche, and they're like, this is where I belong.
Yeah, exactly. So The Voice of Broadway was syndicated across the U.S. It reached millions of readers a day when newspapers were the shit.
Were like the hotness.
They were super good.
Before pre-internet. Yeah.
She had the ability to blend gossip with political and social commentary. So it made her
crush it in today's world.
So she was like the original influencer then.
Yeah, but there was an intellectual angle to it. So it wasn't just like, oh shit, look at Kim K's ass. That's just wild. Yeah. Or whatever.
Wop.
Yeah.
Seriously. Influencers when they were smart. Before they just
intellectual
pop it
influencer.
But what happened is that during her time on Voice of the Broadway column, she established like connections, and it was like who you knew.
Oh yeah,
okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that like kind of launched her into a new
category.
Yeah, new realm, because you know everybody, you know all the connections, you know the hots, and you know the
social circles.
Yeah, not just the hot actress, but the Frank Sinatra coming in.
And then when you get those connections, those people like reach out to you like, you're going to want to hear about this.
Yeah.
Right.
They're like, didn't come from me.
Yeah. Anonymous source.
Yeah. In 1950, she got a role on a TV show called What's My Line? I don't know if you've ever heard of this.
Sounds
like Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It's awesome, actually. I watched about 5 episodes.
Of this one?
Yeah. You can go on YouTube and you can watch it. And
beautiful.
It's awesome. Okay. Basically, what they do is they have a panel of experts, and then they have somebody that comes in, and only the audience knows that they polish doorknobs. That's their job.
Okay.
Right? And then they have to ask questions, and they have a certain amount of questions.
Oh, so
yes or no questions.
So it's like 20 questions.
Yeah, 100%.
Like 20 questions.
Yeah, it's awesome. It was actually very...
They're like, are you
rad.
a dude?
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
yes.
I watched one episode where it was like he made polls for flags.
It's like, how do you even get
I know,
to, like,
yeah. And then they eventually,
and like, how do you, if they guess
Did they get that
like,
one?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Did they get it?
Didn't get it.
No.
They didn't
Yeah,
get
I mean,
it.
that's
No.
impossible.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what do you do? Like, do you work with anything? Yes.
But she was on that for 15 years.
Holy
Wow.
shit.
Literally till the day she died. She was on
damn.
that show.
Well, she
And
did
you
she
can
die like
go-
on the show?
And she died, and then the next episode, they did an episode, and I watched the episode when they said she passed.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
You know what I mean?
Like
and
a
it was
tribute,
like,
like a-
yeah. So you can go watch it. It's on YouTube, and it's on a bunch of different places. But it's an interesting thing. But basically, the point of that though is that she was on TV.
Mm-hmm.
She was like,
She was, like,
she was
people
well-
knew.
very-
people-
well known.
yeah.
Yeah.
She wasn't like,
She's not
Some
like
nobody.
celebrity, but like
yes,
she's well known.
she was known. Yeah, exactly.
But it's also like, especially at that time,
like
when
your boy
this is,
Jerry
like,
Springer or something.
yeah,
But
yeah,
like,
yeah.
especially at that time, like pre-internet, if you were also on TV and you were writing, people would be like you associate names with like faces much stronger. Like, oh wow,
Yeah.
I saw her on, and everyone. When you had TV, everybody watched that.
True.
Watched the same. There was 3 shows. Everyone was watching that shit.
Yeah. That show was on at Sunday night. At
I know, and like
5
"Kid,
o'clock.
shut up.
Yeah. My program's on.
Like with the freaking TV dinners.
My stories.
Salisbury steak and like my stories.
Do you think that was a good time or not?
I think it was the best time.
Yeah.
I mean, probably because also those TV dinners were probably legit. It was probably like legit food.
I always just think of like Hungry Man. You know,
No,
the
exactly,
little
like the
steak
Oh yeah, yeah.
it's covered in gravy.
Dude, I rewatched. Me and my wife rewatched the first True Detective.
Yeah.
And there's this one part where it's like he's alone, and he's eating his TV dinner. I'm like, damn,
He's
that's
got
so
like a tray.
I know, it's so sad. He burns himself on like the plastic. I was like, damn, man, that's like the saddest shit I've
And
ever seen.
I don't know if you've ever had them, but the mashed potatoes always get fucked up.
Oh yeah.
They always get fucked up. Don't ever do it. Yeah. Like half of it's crispy. It's like microwave burn.
And microwave
It's
burn,
like,
yeah, it's like chemical burn. Anyways.
So another thing that she's known for is that she was investigating a trial that was happening for Dr. Sam Shepard. Dr. Sam Shepard, I don't know if you've heard of this movie, but Harrison Ford came out with a movie called The Fugitive.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God! Is this a switch of samples?
Yes.
Switch of
And so
samples.
this trial was based on that, or that movie was based on this trial.
Okay.
So he was a doctor. His wife died at home, and there was a big trial and a big thing about you know it was loosely based. Yeah, it wasn't.
Very sensationalized for the movie.
But the point being is that she investigated that, and that's when she kind of branched off into not gossip,
but in investigative journalism.
Yes, investigative journalism.
Okay.
Yeah. So, anyways, there's a lot to go over on that, but that trial happened. And then she started investigating something called the JFK assassination.
This little thing.
Yeah, I'll take a stab at that one.
In Americana. Yeah. Like, it's the biggest story ever, history of mankind.
She said a lot about the Warren Commission. She didn't like the Warren Commission.
I didn't like the Warren Commission either.
And she concluded that...
it was full of bullshit.
It's fucking conspiracy. That's what she
She
concluded.
concluded like something's off.
She hated the fact that it concluded that Lee Harvey acted alone.
Yeah. There's no way.
And so she started investigating this, and this is around 64. So 63, he died. In 64, she started investigating it.
And she died in 65.
She died in 65.
Yeah.
So she also started investigating the Jack Ruby. So she was really part of the Jack Ruby trial. And she even went to the trial.
Okay.
It was in the courtroom.
She's probably one of the caricatures.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So her investigation led to believe that there were more layers to the assassination plot, possibly involving powerful individuals or organizations. She claimed to have information that, if she published, would have explosive ramifications.
God, I wish we could have had her on the show.
Kilgallen even interviewed Jack Ruby.
What?
While he was on trial?
while he was on trial.
Damn, she's definitely got connections. Holy shit.
So she did publish part of that interview, but she also had additional notes that she did not publish.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was stashed away in like a fucking briefcase. Like, I don't know, like, there's no hard drives.
Now,
like,
this was considered groundbreaking because in those interviews with Ruby, he basically said that there was more to the story and that there were aspects of the assassination that had not been explored. And so her notes, though, unfortunately, were never found.
Of course.
So what you just said is what she actually published, but we don't know the other part of it. Got it. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
That's what got cleared by the editors.
Yeah, exactly. Everything else, like 90% redacted.
They're like, Dorothy. We got a business to run here, so...
Now, we're going to touch on that a little bit later.
Okay.
But during this time, there was also something called the Sinatra feud.
Fuck Sinatra.
So,
With a gun.
So, Dorothy and Sinatra were friends at a certain point.
That's a bad move, Shouty.
Okay.
Like, don't
So-
drink the whatever he gives you.
They even have like a photograph of them rehearsing in a radio studio in 48. And they were, anyways. So then in 56, she wrote an article about him.
Rapist.
And it was called The Real Frank Sinatra Story.
Mm-hmm.
Rapist.
And it was not well looked upon about Sinatra.
Yeah.
That he was a womanizer.
Really?
That, all sorts of different things. His connections to the mob.
Oh, which are true.
All that sort of thing. So then they started to have a bit of a feud. He started saying horrible things about how she looked.
Classic. Fucking classic.
He started to just say how, like...
Bitch.
I know. It's ugly as shit. I know. It's like, why would I even hang out with a fucking mongoloid?
Yeah. Now, of course, he would never say her name. But...
He would imply it.
Everybody knew, and it
that
just
one
became,
famous news anchor who I hung out with at one time, bitch. Fucking fat bitch. She weighed like 98 pounds. Fucking fat bitch.
She never resolved it with Sinatra.
It just reminds me of, wasn't there a part in what's the movie with Miles Teller where the Offer?
Yeah.
Wasn't that a part where like Sinatra?
Which one? The Author?
The Offer.
You should check it out.
It's really
it's a show.
It's a show. It's a show about the
miniseries or
making
whatever,
of The Godfather.
Yeah,
It's
great.
actually really good.
Fantastic.
But there's a part of Sinatra like they're talking shit and he's like all fucking pissed.
Yeah.
Ah!
He's like at a dinner club or whatever.
I know,
Yeah,
and he's just such a dick.
Yeah.
Like I feel like he actually had to
Write
be.
that
Like,
down.
everyone's like he's a dick.
Honestly, he's not even kidding. You should watch that.
It's really good.
It's like
really,
6
really good.
episodes.
I think it's like
that.
8. It's
Yeah,
8.
yeah.
It's
They're
phenomenal.
like hour-longies. Yeah, it's good.
We like binged it. That's that good.
Yeah. Then Dorothy started writing in her column about these major murders and celebrity deaths and JFK and that sort of thing. And so I thought it was appropriate to read a couple of her columns.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah. And one of the columns is about Marilyn Monroe's death. Yeah. Now, again, if you have not listened to our Marilyn Monroe episodes, go listen to those because, you guys know all about it.
Yeah, of
so we'll be able to understand what she's talking about.
Of course.
Yeah. Okay. So she said this was August 5th, 1962.
Okay.
Dorothy said, if the woman described as Marilyn's housekeeper, Eunice, is really a housekeeper, why was Marilyn's bedroom such a mess?
Yeah, I think we brought that up. In
Remember the
episode, too.
photos?
Yeah.
It was a fucking disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a small house and should have been easy to keep tidy. Why was Marilyn's door locked that night?
Yeah, right?
When she didn't usually lock it? If she was trying to get to sleep and took the overdose of pills accidentally, why was the light on? Usually people sleep better in the dark.
I did not think about that.
Why did the first doctor arriving on the scene have to call the second doctor before calling the police?
Yes.
Sketch.
Any doctor, even a psychiatrist, knows a dead person when he sees one.
I think any person knows a dead person when they see
Especially when rigor mortis is set in and there are marks of lividity on the surface of the face and body. Why the consultation of the second doctor? Why the big time gap in such a small town? Mrs. Murray gets worried at 3 a.m. It's almost 6 a.m. before the police get to the scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm worried.
Yeah, these are all things that we talked about in that episode.
That's right. The real story hasn't been told, not by a long shot. Sleep well, sweet girl. You have left more of a legacy than most. If all you ever left was a handful of photographs of one of the loveliest women who ever walked the face of the earth.
Damn, that was like so sleep well.
Do you know what I mean?
Girl.
Like,
damn,
this is,
like,
she's talking about this. She's talking about this in in 1962.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
That shit got brushed into the.
Yeah. So like she would have been on this show.
Oh,
yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, she'd have been like
expert witness.
She'd be like 120, but we're like, all right, baby girl, like, just walk us through it one step at a time.
Yeah. Okay, so now we move over to Lee Harvey Oswald.
Okay.
And like I said, I'm just reading her columns. She was writing. She was doing like podcast episodes essentially.
In writing.
In paper.
Yes, in columns as it was happening. So the column was, why did Oswald risk all by shooting cop?
Yeah, like seriously, like what the fuck?
So April 4th,
outside the theater, like fuck you.
April 4th, 1964. A mysterious and significant aspect of the events following the assassination of President Kennedy in Dallas has never been explored publicly, although it must have occurred to crack reporters covering the case, as well as authorities investigating the tragedies. The important question, why did Lee Harvey Oswald, presumably fleeing from the police after the assassination, approach Patrolman J.D. Tippett's car in broad daylight with witnesses standing by and shoot the policeman 3 times, although he had not said a single word to Oswald?
Yeah, it's not like he was stopped and was like, hey, who are you? And there was like 6 witnesses. Like, they're all like just standing there. Like, what
That's
the
the thing. There was witnesses. So, but why?
They're like Manchurian Candidate his ass. Lee.
If he was
Lee Harvey.
what she's saying
Lee Harvey
is
Oswald.
he is literally escaping from assassination. If it's true,
Yeah.
he's escaping the scene.
Yeah. Stay away from all cops.
He's like, fuck it, pop, pop, pop.
Right, just walk up and like,
Yeah.
that guy looked at me wrong. Fuck him. He's got to go.
Oswald had managed to slip away.
Wait. What I don't remember, was he just standing there or he was
We don't
after
know.
him, right? Because
We
I
don't know.
remember back when we were doing the episode, it was, at least the way we said it, if I remember correctly, it was more like he stopped him or he saw him on the street and then he was trying to stop him and then that's when
We
he
don't
shot
know.
him. Yeah,
That's
but we
the
don't
problem.
know.
We don't know
That's
what
the
he
real
was
truth.
doing.
Yeah.
Or,
I don't
you
know.
know.
Yeah, but the way she's putting it here, it's like it's more
This
like,
cop is like asleep in his car and he's
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
shut up, bitch. Like, straight up.
makes him sound
Excuse me,
thuggish.
officer.
He's like scrolling TikTok. He's like,
He's just scrolling. He's looking at like booty video.
And then he grabbed his sidearm and he pointed it sideways and he
Yeah.
was yelling gang signs. Like,
kill-
she just
he
like,
turns it sideways. It's like a revolver.
DFW.
yeah.
Literally a 6 shooter. He's like,
So Oswald had managed to slip away from the scene and was, up to that point, not a reckless one. A man who knows he is wanted by the authorities after a spectacular crime does not seek out a policeman usually, unless he has decided to give himself up. And certainly Oswald was not doing that. By shooting Tippett instead of trying to make himself inconspicuous, Oswald put himself in double jeopardy. His act almost guaranteed his arrest. Why? A whodunit fan would infer that the policeman knew something about Oswald that was so dangerous, had to be silenced at any cost, even Oswald's chance at escape and freedom.
Isn't it funny how like all these ones, like even if like, the shooter does something so stupid, it's like even when we did the MLK one,
Yeah, I was
where,
just
like, where the guy's
I
like,
was just about to say
he's
that
like the
one.
murder weapon. He's like, I'll just leave it right here,
Yeah.
and
With
then
a
all
little bit
this-
of evidence
I
in the
know, like, I
backpack.
know, with like my gloves and like my fingerprints on all the bullets. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
like why would you do that?
It's true. They're all idiots.
I know it's like they're all
idiots.
like all these like expert assassins are just
Although,
all stupid.
but maybe that brings it forward, or like that makes us understand that maybe criminals are idiots.
True.
Just in general, they always want to
They-
be caught. They
yeah,
always want to,
like-
not want to be caught, but like
they do want to be caught. They do
something
want to be caught
stupid.
They're
inherently.
ignorant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
I just don't think that all these high profile ones, they can't all be that. Like,
Yeah.
even if you would eventually still get caught, but in essence, like, I left my driver's license with a picture of me like killing a oopsies. Like, you know, like, come on.
Remember the guy? Remember the MLK? He's like, he
Yeah.
dropped his driver's license and then jerked off in the bag. And
It's like an ad, like a letter addressed to his like stakeout house. Like, oopsies.
yeah. His 23andMe packet. Oh shit! I left my 23andMe.
I'm 2% African. My 23
So dumb. Yeah. Okay, so on November 8th, 1965, Dorothy Kilgallen was found dead in her New York City apartment. The official cause of death was an overdose of alcohol and barbiturates, ruled accidental.
After she just was like,
What?
were the lights off though?
So Kilgallen was found dead in a bedroom she rarely used. She was fully dressed, and she was sitting up in her bed. Her reading glasses and a book were neatly arranged, which was unusual for her. Friends and colleagues noted that Kilgallen typically read in a different room, and that the scene did not align with her normal habits.
Oh, they like try to stage it like, oh, everyone reads in bed and book, and like,
Right.
she's like, I never slept in that bedroom not one time.
The unusual circumstances of her death led to questions about how she ended up in that room specifically, and whether someone might have staged the scene to make her death appear accidental.
Also, like, I can't imagine, like, I don't know, I'm not a like OD expert, but I can't imagine it's like OD just sitting up. Like, wouldn't your body be like, wouldn't you like fall over maybe? I don't know. I'm not I'm not expert, but
So it was alcohol and
Barbiturates.
Yeah.
Yeah. So barbiturates are a thing then, huh?
I mean, Marilyn
Is it a hot
Monroe
thing?
died on
Guess so.
barbiturates.
Yeah.
But like, what are other names for barbiturates? So like, what would be nowadays barbiturates?
Nowadays, I guess. Well, they're downers, right? So it'd be like an Ambien, I guess, or something like that. That helps you.
Sleeping pills.
Anti-anxiety, sleeping pills,
Okay.
that type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think downers is a big category too. Like,
True.
I mean, any opiate
Yeah.
is considered a downer, and anything that is suppressing the central nervous system or like any sort of operating system of the body is considered a downer.
So when you mix alcohol,
I mean,
with it.
alcohol is a downer. Alcohol itself is a downer.
True.
So
Why you pointing your coat?
tip: don't take downers and
We gotta
sleeping.
edit that out.
So don't take sleeping aids and downers and barbiturates with booze.
How about just don't take
Yeah, just don't
barbiturates?
take 'em.
How about just don't take
Well, I
barbiturates.
mean, I mean, they're trying to go to sleep, right? Isn't that what they're trying to do?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, that's usually what you would take it for. Yeah. That or like anxiety shit, right?
I got it. Okay, to calm down.
Yeah.
Relax.
Yeah, relax.
All right.
Exactly.
All right. Well, one of the most intriguing aspects of her death, aside from the weird circumstance in the room, etc., was that her notes and manuscript related to JFK disappeared.
Oh my God. Fancy that.
Yeah.
She was like, I'll
Coincidence.
she's like, I'll burn these before I off myself.
So she was known for keeping detailed notes, and she had been working on a book about the JFK assassination.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
These materials vanished, and that's the start of the conspiracy theories. Yeah,
This is sketch as fuck.
That's the beginning.
This is like already hella sketch.
Yeah, especially considering that she was a meticulous journalist. So your whole job is keeping notes.
Oh, of course. They wouldn't just be misplaced.
No.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
And the fact that like all of her friends were like, why was she in that room? Like, she never used that fucking room.
Yeah.
She read over there in the study. Look
She's
at all
like
the...
perfectly.
I know, she's like propped up.
Sitting up.
I know they have her. She's on the bed like...
She's like this with the book.
I know. That's reading. Like reading glasses are like perched.
Yeah. So several theories suggest that Kilgallen was silenced because she was close to uncovering the truth about the
100%.
JFK assassination.
Sold.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The theories propose that her death was orchestrated by powerful entities to prevent her from publishing her findings.
Okay.
She found new leads in the JFK assassination. It wasn't necessarily like a smoking gun of she solved it.
But she was like, I'm on to something, and I'm going to get to the bottom of it. And they're like, don't get to the bottom of it, whatever you do.
So, and then the timing of her death was right when, she was about to release it, basically.
So it's sketch.
So here are some of the theories. You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
Government involvement.
100%. I mean, did I have to say it? I mean, we all knew I was thinking it.
One of the most popular theories is that the government operatives or agencies that were involved killed her. They argue that her investigative work on the JFK assassination posed a significant threat to the narrative, prompting a further cover-up, a loose end of the JFK assassination.
This reminds me of like Goodfellas, where they just start fucking. Yeah. They just at the end, they just kill off everybody who's just fucking kill everybody who's involved. Like everyone's a loser.
So the theory is that she was being watched.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
And then, just imagine you're watching somebody, and then you they go out to dinner, you go into their apartment, check out their books, check out their notebooks, saw something, we're like...
Yeah, they're like, she's got to go.
She knows.
Go. Yeah.
She knows too much.
She got to go. Yeah. Or like, this will lead...
Yeah, she's on the right track.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, it's too close for comfort now.
Yeah.
Now, again, if it's hard to say much of this without conclusive evidence because
It's not that hard
it's
to say.
more it continual.
I mean, I was pretty much saying this with no evidence, with not even knowing about the story. I'm like,
3 minutes in.
I know. I was like, the government?
So another theory is mafia.
I thought about that for a second, but yeah, so far I'm going with the first one.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
you go the like she had a feud with Sinatra.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then
But
you
then
also,
she was talking with Jack Ruby, though. They seemed like they were
Exactly.
tight.
I know, but Jack Ruby has connections to the mafia.
No, I'm saying, but like, it's not like she ended off with Jack Ruby badly. It wasn't like she's like, Jack Ruby's like, fat bitch. get my fucking guns.
True.
But maybe Sinatra had enough sway to be like, we gotta get
I
rid
mean,
of her.
she was writing about JFK. She was writing about Ruby. She was writing about Marilyn. Every single one of those, and Sinatra.
Yeah.
So every single one of those has the mafia as the conspiracy.
But maybe
You know
what
I
we're
mean?
doing wrong here is like, why are the government and the mafia separated? What if they're...
Yeah.
What if...
working
I mean,
together.
the government, in essence, is the mafia.
True.
Yeah.
This is the legal mafia.
So, what do you think she found?
Hey, it's Kaylee Cuoco for Priceline. Ready to go to your happy place for a happy price? Well, why didn't you say so? Just download the Priceline app right now and save up to 60% on hotels. So whether it's Cousin Kevin's Kazoo Concert in Kansas City, go Kevin, or Becky's Bachelorette Bash in Bermuda, you never have to miss a trip ever again. So download the Priceline app today. Your savings are waiting.
Go to your happy place for a happy price. Go to your happy price, Priceline.
I mean, she probably...
That's hard to say. You know what I mean?
I mean, she probably just got like other leads of like maybe other people that were involved or like in like that were a part of it that were never kind of talked to.
Yeah.
Or maybe that there was other witnesses to the actual murder itself that... Because you remember, like, in the Warren Commission, it was very nebulous. Like, you don't know, like, who they all talked to. They only released, like, oh, this is what we found, blah. So maybe there were
guys on the railroad.
Yeah, maybe there was people that were like pushed down. And don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. And she actually got real detailed information from them. Was going to release that, like, hey, here's what they said.
Remember those guys in Calvin Klein suits?
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah,
who were like drifters.
Yeah, like by the fence, like
by the grassy knoll.
I know. Like, what are you doing? The Calvin Klein suits?
It could definitely be that, but it could also just be almost like she didn't have anything, but she's stirring up this drama.
She gets killed for nothing. She's like hyping it up.
Well, no, I mean it's more of like gets killed for doubt. Because they already had the Warren Commission, right? It was almost like they case closed it.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And then she keeps writing about it and then starts stirring up all these conspiracies.
Maybe just make people keep thinking about it. Like they just want a closure.
Exactly. It's like, quit talking about this shit. Quit like bringing it up and like bringing attention to the government and the conspiracies.
Okay.
That's a good point.
All right. Well, we'll go over a couple more facts.
And then, like, after this, the government's like, Vietnam! Literally, oh, look at this!
But if you wanted to, since her death, there's tons of books, documentaries. I mean, what's interesting about the research of this, there's not a lot. There's a couple guys who are main proponents of this as a conspiracy, but that's about it. And they just do lectures. No, they do lectures at schools.
They do podcasts about conspiracies.
But there's no like, it's not really a mainstream.
Yeah.
Because you never heard of Dorothy Kilgallen.
No, I didn't. No.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's suppressed or I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously you're not. All the stuff you have to. Sometimes you realize how difficult it is to find the ulterior viewpoint on a thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So difficult to find like ulterior information because all you get is what like this is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's why even if you look at history books now are so weirdly altered. Like you won't find look at your kids' history books now. You won't find the shit that happened with the Indians.
Really?
No,
not anymore.
Really?
No way. They're not telling you how much we fucked them over. Are you kidding me, Ruth? I had to go. I remember being in college because they never really gave us all the information. So I had to go to my college library and I found one book. And in that one book, they finally went over, like, showed a map of all the Indian territories over time. It was like a time-lapse map. And you see it's like, these massive, they own everything. And then it's like, boop, 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 boop. And how we just fucked them out of everything.
Yeah.
Like, and we just forced them out. Oh, and it was like, manifest destiny or eminent domain. It's like, oh, God told us that, this is our land. And they're like, what? And they're like, yes.
It does kind of contradict the whole, everybody give us you're tired, you're poor, you're weak. Like, like.
Well, they were like.
Because you're kind of like, I mean, maybe it was after the fact. And I don't want to blame our forefathers for what we did 100 years earlier.
Well, they also, they were
right?
like,
they did it 200 years
No, they were like,
earlier.
give us you're tired, you're poor, you're weak from other places.
Yeah.
The indigenous people got to go.
Yeah. But to be fair, that was 200 years earlier.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it wasn't,
And I mean, and to be fair, it started with the Spanish.
Yeah.
They were the original assholes.
Yeah.
Let's be
so
real.
So it would be kind of like blaming us for slavery.
Exactly. which is still happening today. You piece of shit.
That's true.
I know it is true.
That actually just totally makes sense.
Dude, I know. I've heard people talk about that. I'm like,
reparations.
I'm like, dude, my dad's white. Like, what do you? How can I get behind this? I know, that son of a bitch for birthing. How dare he create
it's a hard
me?
Conversation.
Piece of shit. You owe me. It's so stupid. I'm sorry. The argument is ridiculous.
So you don't believe in reparations?
No. My grandmother who went through slavery. My grandmother's lived through slavery. Her mom was a slave and my grandmother lived through slavery. She doesn't want reparations. She doesn't want anything.
Yeah.
She actually went through it. Hyper racism, crazy segregation, the whole nine. And she's not asking for any money.
Yeah.
Why the fuck should we with our TikTok? I got a degree in art from New York University. Like, give me reparations. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, seriously. It's a different story of people who actually endured it are like, hey, hook me up. 100%.
Different,
you know what? I'm down.
Yeah.
But like people who aren't experiencing that
or if you wanted to take allocate funds to improve a neighborhood, sure, but it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, it shouldn't be like individual. It shouldn't be like, give me my stimmy check so I can go to like the casino. Fucking get lit.
Yeah. Because most of those places have either,
I think I would be down with that to improve like impoverished neighborhoods. Yeah. That sounds like a good idea. I'd be down for that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Eric for Prez? Eric for Prez?
No, they already do that.
No, they don't. Those neighborhoods still suck. When are they doing it?
MLK down here, it's already been revamped.
That shit sucks.
It's been revamped. What are you talking about?
Revamped?
Does it suck? I mean, I guess. I wouldn't live down there.
They repaved the road?
No.
Revamped.
They did a bunch of roads. They did a bunch of buildings. They did, a bunch of landscaping.
Yeah,
I must be.
I don't know. What do you want?
Like, I must be driving on the wrong side of the tracks because it's like a little.
I stopped going there a long time ago.
Yeah. Even I'm afraid to go there. I'm like, I'm way too light-skinned for this shit.
What did you say that recent podcast? You were like, was it you or was it you? You're like,
what?
MLK is always the worst.
It's always the worst.
Why is that?
Even when I lived in Cincinnati.
But I agree.
When I lived in Cincinnati, MLK was the worst.
MLK streets. We're talking about MLK
streets. And like, why are they always like so hood rat? It's so unfortunate.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, Thomas Jefferson Street is like fucking like hood rat. It's like fucking MLK Street's like the trap. It sucks.
So true.
It's so weird. I don't understand it.
It's
like universal.
Next time I see a Jefferson Street,
it's gonna be like opulent, like fucking like
super gentrified.
100% mansions.
A couple things before we kind of do, figure out what we want to do, right? Here are a couple things that that are just strange, and a couple other tidbits of, okay. So the first thing, apparently there was an unidentified visitor that visited her. She reportedly received visits from a mysterious individual. Friends and colleagues mentioned seeing unfamiliar people near her home and suspected that she was being followed. These visitors have never been identified, and the purpose of following her or being around her remains unclear.
I mean,
Were they dressed in like black suits, black tie, and like...
this is all the hearsay stuff.
Yeah, see, but
this is hearsay.
My point is, like, she also lived in New York, where it's like, there's just weird people everywhere.
True.
So
that's a good point. That's a good point.
But I don't know.
That could be explained.
I feel like in the 60s it was...
Not as shit?
New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Marilyn's walking down the street.
Yeah, that's a good point.
DiMaggio.
That's a good point. I think it was less.
It was definitely less.
There's probably like 20 million less people there than two.
So there were rumors that Kilgallen herself believed she was under surveillance by a government agency. She mentioned to friends and colleagues that she felt she was being watched and her phone was tapped.
See, this is why it's like, man, the government probably thrived before there was like CCTV.
Oh yeah.
They were just like, do whatever the fuck fucking YOLO. We got guys everywhere.
I mean, shit. They got the Patriot Act now. They can just do whatever the hell they want too.
That's a really good point. They're like, national security.
Yeah.
National security. Tourists. There's a terrorist journalist activity. So we got to keep an eye on her.
So the main couple things about her death scene is that she had multiple prescription bottles nearby. And basically, they don't know where these came from, and nobody knew she was on prescription drugs.
She like never filled a prescription ever?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Were they street drugs?
Her friends said they didn't know she was on prescription drugs.
Okay. I mean,
but it should be easy to verify
we don't
if
have
she got this prescribed.
It's sort of like
evidence.
Dr. John Smith.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but the point is we don't have the evidence of were those prescribed to her. Or
Watch like on like the crime scene, they're like, well, we destroyed those, of course.
Yep.
Duh. That's what we do. It's standard operating procedure, destroy evidence.
And then, of course, we talked about the unfinished book manuscript.
Which disappeared.
No idea where that
disappeared while she was reading in an upright position in a bedroom she never went into.
Yeah. So Kilgallen apparently had a secret source that she never revealed, right? She was a journalist, so she had...
A little bit normal,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
very normal to have sources. Anonymous.
Kilgallen had hinted...
Anonymous.
She hinted to friends that she had a secret source within the government who was providing her info about the JFK assassination. The identity of this informant never was revealed, and some speculate that this person might be aware or involved in her death.
See, the one thing I think about that is like, what are the rules behind that? Because I was just thinking that about this having an anonymous source. Couldn't you just make some shit up and just say you had an anonymous source?
Right?
I got anonymous tip off here,
and then you just write whatever you want.
Literally,
it's something that gets
impunity.
Readership,
I know, it's like. I mean, I don't know what the rules behind that. Do you have to prove that they're real?
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, maybe if you get sued for what's that called, like
libel?
Yeah, libel suit or something.
Well, there was also apparently there's conflicting sources or witnesses, basically, because some of her friends say that her state of mind and leading up to her death was she was jovial and good spirits, highly focused on work, and then there are other witnesses who said she was struggling,
frantic.
Yes.
Manic.
Exactly. She was anxious and she was worried.
But did say she thought she was being followed, which would cause me a little anxiety.
Anxious, yes. So
is it the same fucking sedan behind me?
After writing about the same, conspiracies that
again, so it's difficult to say.
I mean, Eric still probably checks his like fucking closet for
Suge
Knight. Yeah, for sure, like just to make sure he didn't get out.
Yeah, it's so true.
I'm not even kidding. I think about Suge Knight a lot. I think about Suge Knight more than I should be thinking about.
Oh my god.
I love you, bro.
And he's like, it was all a joke.
I love you, bro. He's got like parole in like 18 months.
Eric's like, he's got a countdown.
I'm cool.
Because I'm just going on vacation. 6 months. As soon as shit gets out.
It's a bit of an inside joke. If you haven't listened to our Tupac episodes, go out there. Actually, and Biggie. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
A little bit of Biggie.
Sugar's everywhere. Piece of shit.
Additionally, there was a lack of investigation, as is always in these crimes or these suicides or murders or whatever. They just walked in and said it's
suicide.
Yeah. And she
clean up. Get rid of all the evidence.
She was a bit of a celebrity. Like she was on TV. She was a journalist. La la la. And so you would think there would be a bit more effort into.
Yeah.
Is this once again running theme with almost all of these? Yeah. Either the cops are like inept, or they're like open and shut.
Yeah,
like instantly. Yeah. They're like, Yeah.
Anything involving the Kennedys is always open and shut.
Yeah,
they're like,
bleach it.
Yeah, bleach it. Burn it.
Now, if you wanted,
burn the fucking place down.
If you wanted to look further into Dorothy Kilgallen, there's more to go over, such as she was at the Jack Ruby trial. So there's so much more that you could go into. You could watch some of her TV programs. You could read more of her articles. There's a whole in-depth research about her nighttime activities. Of her. She was a bit of like a
lady in the street.
Yeah, I mean, just imagine you're in the '60s and you're a journalist and there's no internet.
She's just free loving it.
So no, I mean, you go to the bars, you have a cocktail, you meet with this witness, you meet with that person, you interview this
celebrity.
person.
This,
it's not like I'm on Google.
In-depth interviews.
Yeah, I don't have like
research.
Yeah,
it's called research.
It's research. It's for science.
Yeah. Nowadays it's like big gulps and Cheetos, and you're just fucking tap. Yeah. So I'm just saying, some people say she was a bit of like an alcoholic, and
she probably ripping cigs like with her pencil.
Yeah.
Fucking,
And some say she was loosey goosey and just whatever needed to be done for the story. She had
the makings of a crack fucking journalist.
So I'm just saying, there's a lot more that you could research.
Yeah.
And
totally.
While I decided not to put a lot of that stuff in here, it's because I couldn't really see if it helped the story.
Concrete.
Yeah. It actually more made her look worse.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like it was she would do whatever it took to get a story.
Well, no, because I feel
like she would sleep with you.
No, but see, that doesn't make her look worse in my opinion, because especially in I feel like especially more than it was, things were a lot. Yeah, I feel that the government could like flex their muscles a little bit more, and they'd be like, "We'll just kill you, bitch," and they're like, "Okay." So I feel like I like that about her, that she's willing to do what it takes to get the story.
Also, just imagine you're a female journalist.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
it's
like Mad Men.
They're
in
like,
the
newsroom,
bitch.
Yeah.
Because like, trust me, they're all drinking. It's not. That's not like a shock.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but the point being is there's a lot more research that you could do, and
so don't shit on us for fucking leaving stuff out.
But the point is that this is the story, and this is what I found was the most important parts of the story, and so here we go. I mean, she basically, it sounds like she knew what she was talking about with Marilyn.
Oh yeah, 100%. She was spot on.
She thought Sinatra was a scumbag.
He is. He's a total piece of shit.
Right?
Confirmed.
Confirmed. Proven.
She hated the Warren Commission.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
She's batting 1,000 right now.
Yeah, she sounds like she knows what she's talking about.
Sounds like one of us.
Maybe she had a bit of a drinking problem. Maybe.
Sounds like one of us.
I mean, literally, we need to get merch. Give me a shirt with Kilgallen on it.
Exactly.
Kilgallen 2024.
Kilgallen is my spirit animal.
Literally,
the conspiracy Kilgallen.
So my questions for you at the end of this are two, which is: one, was she killed?
Yes.
Two, what did she find out?
Who's first?
We're gonna go with Jorge.
Jorge's first.
I think I'm gonna go back to what I was saying before. I don't know that she found out. I think she was on the right path of finding out the truth about.
She was just poking the bear.
Yeah. I think, but I think it's more related to the fact of like, look, you're putting out all these stories. Some of them could be confirmed. I don't know. You got anonymous sources or whatever, right? But the fact is that you're putting out this story to the public, and then public is starting to question even more so the JFK conspiracy.
Yeah.
And I think it was just kind of like stirring things up. Okay. And they just wanted to silence her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like approval numbers are down.
Did she get the Maryland thing right? Yeah. I bet she got a lot of stuff right.
Yeah.
And that definitely.
She was asking the right questions.
Well, and she was putting out the right information too.
Yeah.
And so they were like, oh shit, like, either we take her out or we risk her finding out the real truth about like what's behind the conspiracy behind the JFK killing or murder, and they didn't want to risk that.
Yeah. Okay.
I think
it goes like along those lines.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm almost the same, but the fact that the manuscript was lost and all of her notes were lost.
Yeah.
She had to have something, bro.
Yeah.
She had to have something. She had to have something that they couldn't risk getting out, so they had to take the manuscript.
So to give you an
idea, I think they just probably took that out of like precaution. Like, okay, it's like whatever it says.
Tying up loose ends.
Exactly. Yeah.
I guess.
Okay, well, what do you think?
Put it into context.
Think she might have found
put it into context. Remember, the Warren Commission came out like 10 or 11 months after JFK died. So 1963, he dies in November. So then October
64
is the Warren Commission. She dies 1965.
Yeah, like right after.
Yeah.
I mean, this was obviously still like probably a hot button, and I guarantee, just like Corey said, I guarantee they're like, we gotta fucking get this, get out of this shit, and that's personally why I think they're like, well, nothing's working. War. Vietnam, baby.
True.
Like, because I think Vietnam was in 69, 67.
Yeah, but it really started in 66 and 67.
Yeah, it was like really close after
right
that.
There.
And then I think that she probably, I don't think she had like the smoking gun. I don't think she was like, this is the person who killed JFK. I think she probably had legit testimonies that were contradictory to what the Warren Commission said.
In the book that we lost, that they took?
Yeah, I feel like she...
They took.
I feel like she had...
Confirmed.
I feel like she had...
Burn it, Johnson! Johnson, burn it!
Burn the fucking apartment! No, I do feel like she probably had some other eyewitnesses that were contradictory to the story the Warren Commission said. So they didn't want any conflicting information because they just settled it. It was a whole congressional fucking thing. Took them months.
Yes.
And then it makes the entire government system look stupid. And they're like, we can't have us all looking like assholes, right?
Yeah. Especially right after the Warren Commission.
No,
right,
and then
right away.
And then they all look like idiots, and then people be like, "What the fuck? Why are you our elected official?"
Yeah, like, think
and Ruby just got killed.
Think back to just kind of put yourself in the viewpoint of back then. This is going down. It just went down, right? Like think about like the state of the country.
Oh, it's
uneasiness.
Our government killed our own president.
Exactly.
Then killed Oswald
and
killed
killed Ruby. Everyone's getting
Ruby's still alive, but like killed Oswald. Ruby killed Oswald, and blah, blah, blah.
Are we gonna have this journalist like keep poking the bear and like stirring things up, or do we need to tie up loose ends? You know, and she wasn't like a loose end per se, I guess, but like
she's like a hangnail.
Kind of, yeah.
It's a fucking annoying.
Yeah, like a
God
little hang.
damn
like
it!
Fucking...
This is gonna turn into something worse if I don't get rid of it right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like how she died.
Definitely not. How she died is super
I don't
sketch.
like that. Even if she was an alcoholic, fine. She's a journalist in the 60s.
But you're not going to die like that if you're an alcoholic.
She could deal.
I mean,
like we have like 4 neutrals and we're like, give me an Uber, quick.
She had like 18 martinis and then like
it's a whole different.
Then she go like interview like a dignitary.
Realm of alcoholism. Yeah. She could deal with it. Now,
also like you're not necessarily going to die one night just because you drank a bunch of alcohol. Like if she was an alcoholic to that degree where she was like almost fucking killing herself, then I think we would have probably heard some
I also
other
think
stories.
Her friends would have been like, we were really worried about her. She was on fucking some other shit.
I mean, she was on a TV show every week
you
for
would
15
not be able to
years.
function.
I know, it's like imagine like Bob Barker's up there like, ew,
insanity. So if she's on quote unquote like an Ambien and alcohol,
and she's ripping 20 questions off, like no, get the fuck out of here.
And I do suggest you go watch one of the episodes. It's Brad.
Yeah.
Like, go watch it.
I'm
gonna watch it.
Yeah, and see like how she is. She's smart. She's fast. She's really like quick. You know.
Yeah.
So I don't like how she died. I'm with you guys. I'm with you guys. I think she was killed for nefarious purposes.
What do you think she found?
No, I would assume based on what I could tell, she figured out that Ruby didn't know Oswald.
Oh, and he just killed him for no reason? Or he was told to kill him?
Yeah, something along that line.
Now, do you think the mob killed her, or do you think the government did?
Oh, yeah. That's a good question.
I mean, a little bit of both, maybe.
That's what I told you. They're the same.
So
fucking
government, the government said, hey, you got a henchman, go do the thing.
Yeah, they're like, look, your immunity.
Go do the thing. You're like a guy, so go do the thing, But if you remember the Warren Commission, they said that Ruby killed Oswald for political reasons. And for, he just hated JFK, or like he loved JFK, and he like, basically whatever, right? So the point The point I'm trying to say is though
goddamn commies!
The point I'm trying to say is though that I feel like she found something out about Ruby.
He was like ordered.
That connected.
He's like, I was ordered to kill him by XYZ.
Yeah.
And
or
she's like,
somebody helped him do it and said, hey, he's going to be here at that time.
Oh, yeah. Like literally walked him up to the front of the line.
Yeah. So you remember when they went to the parking garage?
Yeah, Jeff Ruby just walked in.
On TV.
He just
why
walked
would you tell
in.
her that, though?
He's going to go to jail for the rest of his life. You don't think he gives a shit?
I don't know why.
He didn't know he was going to jail.
Maybe she boned him.
Have you ever met those women?
Maybe she like
have you ever met those women though that like just rip out like just get to your core. And like,
or have you ever met my wife?
Yeah, exactly.
It's
like,
just like
met my wife.
No, she's like, what did you guys do last night?
Yeah, and they have 3. And it's just 3 questions, and then like just. I mean,
you talk about
I
my
don't know.
wife. My
no, but it's a good
mom,
question
my
that you pose.
Every woman,
my grandma. Yeah, every woman basically.
No, it's a good question though. Like, why would he say something to her?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she was obviously good at her craft.
True.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to
She
that.
dropped a little tit. He's in prison. He's like, fuck, I'm not going to. He's like, it's going to be a long time before you see one of these bad boys. And he's like,
I like that.
I'll tell you what you need to know. You're not going to believe this one.
Tit for tat.
Tit for tat. Tit for tip.
Yeah.
Dude, maybe you should do it. I'm saying.
Yeah, I like that theory.
It's a hot theory.
It's a good
He's
theory.
going to be around dudes for the rest of his life.
Right.
And he's a mobster, so you know he was like getting it.
Right.
He's gonna be like, oh no.
Well, he was like a poser and mobster, but yeah, he was a nightclub owner who wanted to be. Anyway, go back and listen to the JFK.
I'm not gonna.
But
I lived
I'm
it.
not gonna listen to that again.
Fucking crazy.
No, so I don't know. I think that's what she found out. I think she found out some sort of connection between Ruby and Oswald.
Okay.
So, like you said, you was like, it's not like a smoking gun,
but it's like, hey. What Warren Commission said is a lie.
It contradicts everything that was said in the Warren Commission. Right. So yeah, I think.
And then it goes back to what I'm saying. Then they need to sign.
Yeah, they're like, no, we can't have this.
Right.
Election year coming up.
Yes.
Like
exactly.
we can't have.
We got
this
a war to promote.
It's like, how much money we're gonna make off this shit?
Well, there you go.
Blackhawks I'm gonna sell.
So that's what we got tonight. I do want to say I think Dorothy was a rad person.
I wish she was with us
and,
still.
I'm glad we were able to kind of keep her memory alive, because actually if you read some of her columns, she sounds intelligent, quick-witted, and asks the right questions.
Yeah. Just like us.
Know? So if you have a chance, look her up, and there you go. That's what we got tonight.
Yeah. So seriously, tell us write in. Tell us what you think. Tell if you think we're off base or if you hate us.
Yeah.
We love those.
Or did we miss anything? Do you guys have a different theory here?
Yeah,
I would like to know that.
I would like to know
that. Yeah.
Anyways, nighty night.